I wake up before the alarm because there is no alarm. There is a man standing near the wall who knows my breathing pattern better than I do. For half a second, I think I'm being robbed. Then I remember, I am the president of Russia. Vladimir Putin, head of state, supreme authority, nuclear codes. That realization lands before my feet touch the floor, and the room rearranges itself around it. Nothing about me has changed since yesterday. My thoughts are the same, my doubts are the same, my body feels the same, but the air is different. People move as if gravity increased overnight. No one asks whether I'm ready. They wait to see what I'll do. A door opens without a knock. Another person appears with a tablet, another with a jacket I didn't ask for. Security materializes like condensation. I haven't spoken yet, but everyone is already responding. This is the first shock. Authority works even in silence, especially in silence. I sit up and someone notes it. I pause and someone else freezes. Every micro-decision suddenly feels like a signal being intercepted, decoded, and acted upon somewhere far away. I used to think power came from action. It doesn't. It comes from expectation. Messages start arriving before I've had water. Briefings marked urgent, reports marked confidential, requests marked immediate. None of them explain the cost of being wrong. They don't need to. The weight is implied. Every sentence ends with consequences I can't see yet. The wealth is abstract but present, like background radiation. Cars waiting, buildings standing by, systems bending to reduce friction around my movement. I didn't earn any of it. That's the part that feels the worst. Yesterday, effort and outcome were linked. Today, outcomes arrive first, and effort is optional. That should feel powerful. It feels nauseating. Assistants speak quickly, not because time is short, but because my attention is expensive. They want decisions, not thoughts. Clarity, not nuance. The world doesn't want me to understand it. It wants me to choose. Security follows me even when I stand still. Protection without consent. Distance without request. I notice how no one disagrees directly. Alternatives are phrased like suggestions. Warnings are framed as facts. Fear moves efficiently through the room, converting uncertainty into obedience. I realize something uncomfortable. The system doesn't care who I am. It cares that I am here. If I hesitate, someone else will fill the gap. If I speak, my words will outgrow me. This isn't control. It's momentum. I haven't issued a single order, and reality has already shifted. That's the imbalance. Power didn't ask whether I was ready. It just showed up, sat down, and started scheduling my day. I know the power expires at midnight. That knowledge loosens something dangerous in me. Borrowed authority is lighter than owned authority. It doesn't need protecting. It can be spent badly. So I start by telling the truth in rooms designed to absorb lies. At the first briefing, I interrupt the script. I ask which decisions are actually mine, and which ones are already decided by momentum, money, or fear. The room stiffens. Someone laughs too quickly. Someone else writes nothing down. Honesty, I learn, is not illegal here. It's just socially incompatible. I say things without wrapping them in strategy. I say that strength costs more than it pays. I say that silence is not stability, it's deferred noise. I say fear is efficient, but efficiency is not the same as legitimacy. No slogans, no metaphors, just statements that sit there like exposed wiring. Within minutes, headlines begin forming without me seeing them. I haven't announced policy, but commentators announce intentions for me. My tone is analyzed. My pauses are decoded. A sentence I meant as an observation becomes a threat. Another becomes a confession. I learn that meaning is no longer something I control. It's something others extract. I skip the cameras when I can. That alone causes suspicion. I visit places without advance notice, not to be symbolic, but to be unuseful to narrative. I help people quietly, which turns out to be the most disruptive act available. Aid without spectacle confuses institutions built on visibility. There's no framing to defend against. Someone warns me that unrecorded actions will be interpreted as secrets. They're right. Transparency is only trusted when it's performative. I ignore public relations logic deliberately. I refuse flattering introductions. I don't correct unhelpful rumors. I let silence exist without clarifying it. The response is panic. Analysts rush to fill the vacuum. Markets twitch. Officials ask for guidance I never offered. I discover that power hates ambiguity more than dissent. I break a few unspoken rules. I speak to people who aren't supposed to be spoken to. I answer questions I'm not meant to acknowledge. I admit uncertainty publicly, which is treated as either genius or weakness, depending on who needs which version. The same sentence becomes courage at noon and incompetence by evening. Ordinary actions mutate on contact with status. I drink tea with someone, and it becomes diplomacy. I hesitate before answering, and it becomes strategy. I say, "I don't know," and it becomes philosophy. Truth itself hasn't changed, only the microphone attached to it. I watch institutions bend themselves into explanations that protect their assumptions. No one asks whether I'm right. They ask what it signals. Intention is less interesting than implication. Sincerity is suspicious. Everything must mean something else. There's a moment where I realize how little effort it takes to distort reality. I don't need to lie. I just need to exist loudly. Influence amplifies everything, including mistakes, until accuracy becomes optional. The public doesn't respond to facts. It responds to hierarchy delivering facts. I find this funny for a while. The chaos has a slapstick quality. I say something plain, and experts sprint to translate it into complexity. I do nothing, and speculation blooms like algae. It's entertaining in the way a malfunctioning machine is entertaining, until you remember people live downstream. As the day goes on, the amusement thins out. The ease of it starts to bother me. I didn't have to persuade anyone. I didn't have to prove anything. I just spoke, and reality rearranged itself to justify listening. That's the most disturbing part. Truth didn't gain value because it was better. It gained value because of where it came from. I understand now why power avoids honesty. Not because honesty is dangerous, but because it reveals how arbitrary authority really is. Once you see how easily meaning bends, it's hard to pretend it's earned. By evening, I say less, not out of restraint, but out of fatigue. Every word feels heavier than it should. I can feel the system waiting to turn my voice into weather. At midnight, the power will vanish. The interpretations will linger. That asymmetry stays with me. Influence leaves fingerprints even after it's gone. I don't feel heroic. I feel exposed, and slightly terrified by how much damage sincerity can do when spoken by the wrong or right mouth. The last hours arrive without ceremony. No countdown, no announcement. Power doesn't leave dramatically. It thins out. The room is the same, but the tension has started packing its bags. I notice it first in the pauses. People still listen, but they listen differently. Not less attentively, more cautiously, as if my words have begun depreciating in real time. I haven't stopped being the president of Russia yet, but the system is already rehearsing my absence. Security remains close, though their posture is softened. Protection feels procedural now, not instinctive. The borrowed shield knows the loan is almost over. I realize something uncomfortable. Influence starts fading before authority officially ends. The world is very good at anticipating irrelevance. I think about tomorrow. Tomorrow, my opinions will go back to being just opinions. Doors will remember how to stay closed. Silence will return to being invisible instead of strategic. That reversal feels heavier than the power ever did. Losing influence is quieter than losing identity, but it's sharper. For one day, problems didn't disappear. They were replaced.
Unav hunger turned into scrutiny. Privacy turned into logistics. Choice turned into performance. Every movement had an audience. Every still moment looked like intent. Fame didn't simplify life. It compressed it, removed the margins where a person usually hides. I understand now why powerful people look tired in a specific way. Not exhausted, contained, like they're constantly holding their breath. Living inside influence means never fully exiting the room. Someone is always watching, recording, interpreting. Even solitude has witnesses. There's a restrained humor to it, I suppose. It took nothing to step into power. No trial, no achievement, just context. And yet, maintaining it, actually living inside it, would grind a person down slowly, politely, with excellent posture. Borrowing power is easy. Carrying it permanently must be unbearable. As midnight approaches, the noise recedes. Fewer messages, fewer urgencies. The machine is powering down. I don't feel relieved. I feel oddly lighter and slightly insulted. The world is already adjusting its posture away from me. I wonder how many truths were only tolerated today because of the chair I sat in. Tomorrow, the same words would sound naive, or dangerous, or simply ignorable. That's the part that stays with me, the unevenness of attention. How reality doesn't respond to truth, but to who is allowed to deliver it. When the day ends, nothing dramatic happens. No door slams, no lights go out. Power just steps back, leaving a dent where it sat. I return to normal life with no illusions left intact. More aware, more disillusioned, and permanently conscious of how temporary influence is, and how little it has to do with merit, wisdom, or truth. It's unsettling to realize how easily meaning can be borrowed, and how quickly it's taken back. Disclaimer. This video is a fictional, satirical thought experiment created for entertainment and reflection. It does not represent the real thoughts, actions, intentions, beliefs, or private life of the public figure referenced. Any events, dialogue, or perspectives presented are imagined and symbolic. The purpose of this story is to explore themes of power, fame, authority, and social perception in a conceptual way, as commentary on broader societal dynamics. It should not be interpreted as a factual account, personal portrayal, or statement about any real individual or institution.